I was getting my car serviced at Serena's Auto Club. When they were done, I told the staff, just charge it to Serena's account. The employee nodded, about to process it, but a male manager I didn't recognize blocked him. We don't do tabs here. Payment is due on the spot. With that, he slapped the bill down in front of me. Premium detailed diagnostic fee, $80,000. Exhaust system acoustic charm. Optimization, $100,000. Engine spiritual balance calibration, $100,000. Total, $280,000. I actually laughed. When did Serena start running such a scam? The manager, Brandon, crossed his arms, sizing me up with disdain, always trying to freeload under Serena's name. I've seen countless poor relatives like you. If you can't afford it, don't try to act like you're rich. Without another word, I pulled out my phone and called Serena. You have 10 minutes to get him out of here. Otherwise, there's no point in keeping this place open. Eleanor, isn't this a misunderstanding? On the other end, Serena's voice was laced with guilt and panic. Misunderstanding? My voice instantly chilled. Do I look like someone who stirs up drama for no reason? I'm not calling to discuss. I'm calling to tell you to handle your people. Immediately. Serena seemed taken aback by my tone. She quickly tried to appease me. Eleanor, don't get mad. Just give the phone to Brandon. I'll ask him exactly what's going on. I snorted and handed the phone to Brandon. He pursed his lips, reluctantly taking the call. Didn't I tell you already? You need to cut ties with these freeloading relatives. All they do is use your name to get benefits. This time is even crazier, finishing the service and then trying to skip out on the bill. Serena seemed to be explaining something on the phone, but Brandon wouldn't let her finish. All right, stop talking. I know you're soft-hearted and care about family, always dragging your feet. I'll be the bad guy today. He hung up, tossed the phone back to me, his chin held high. Hear that? Serena can't be bothered with your nonsense. Stop stalling. It's $280,500 total, but we'll round it down. Just $280,000. Cash, card, or transfer. Make it quick, or I'll call security to escort you out right now. Brandon deliberately emphasized escort, making his threat crystal clear. Brandon's shamelessness and stupidity made me laugh again, but this time it was bitter. In all these years, no one had dared to be so arrogant in front of me. Just then, the VIP room door burst open, and Serena rushed in. She hurried over, a fake plastered smile on her face. Oh, Eleanor, look at this mess. Brandon, he's just too particular about things. Please don't take it to heart. Before I could speak, Brandon bristled like a cat with its tail stepped on. Serena, aren't I doing this for your own good? Should I just let shady characters use your name to freeload and ruin the business? Will that make you happy? Brandon wrapped an arm around Serena's waist, shooting me a defiant look at the same time. Seeing this, I'd be a fool not to understand. I wondered why Brandon, just a manager, could be so arrogant. Turns out he had backup. As if to confirm my suspicions, Serena forced a smile and played the emotional card. Eleanor, Brandon is my boyfriend. We're getting engaged next month. We'll all be family soon, always seeing each other. I'll pay this bill, okay? No need, I coldly refused. Serena's attitude sent a chill down my spine. If I hadn't pitied her, my cousin, she'd still be pounding the pavement at job fairs. The design, renovation, operational plans, network resources, even the startup capital for this auto club, I provided support for every single aspect. But I'd been mindful of her pride back then, so I never personally showed my face. That's why she had no idea I was the real investor. Yet now, for the sake of this short-sighted, nasty man, she was turning on me. In that case, I didn't need to show any mercy. $280,000? That's less than what I spend on a casual day. What infuriated me wasn't the money, it was Serena's ungrateful actions. The money I can pay. The moment I finished speaking, a triumphant smile spread across Brandon's face. Serena also visibly relaxed, as if the whole ordeal was finally over. But my tone shifted abruptly, my voice rising sharply. You need to clearly explain this $280,000 bill to me, item by item, every single charge. Brandon immediately pulled out a pre-prepared bill, reading it aloud with a boastful, mocking tone. First, the premium detailed diagnostic fee. Our club uses a German original imported analyzer, and it's operated by an expert with international artisan certification. It took 3 hours to complete the inspection, so the diagnostic fee is naturally charged according to international standards. Also, your car's exhaust had some strange vibrations affecting its acoustic beauty. We performed an Italian opera tenor resonance chamber style upgrade, making the exhaust sound like Pavarotti's voice, rich and powerful, greatly increasing its value. I almost thought I misheard him. The 3 business partners who came with me visibly twitched at the corners of their mouths, and even Serena awkwardly lowered her head. But he wasn't done yet. Brandon's claims grew even more outrageous. Finally, our technicians found your car's turbocharger lacked balance. This isn't a common issue. It requires a Swiss precision calibrator used in a vacuum environment with remote guidance from HQ experts to perform a spiritual dynamic balance calibration, ensuring the turbo and engine achieve soul-level harmony. What's that called? That's called unique top-tier service, understand? In short, our Coastline Auto Club has clear pricing, no hidden fees. It's just that you're out of your league, you've never seen the world, so you're making a fuss. His last sentence was full of blatant contempt and humiliation. My friend, Ms. Harper, couldn't listen anymore. She stood up to mediate. Eleanor, it's getting late. Why don't we leave? I'll cover this bill. I raised my hand, firmly stopping her. By now, what had started was no longer just about money. I had brought my business partners here to introduce Serena to my network and get my car serviced, only to be publicly humiliated by Brandon. Forcing down my anger, I turned to my 3 business partners and apologized sincerely. My deepest apologies for making you witness such a ridiculous scene and spoiling your mood. As a token of my regret, I'll book the Pinnacle Club this Saturday and host a new dinner for you all. Almost the instant I finished speaking, my friends' phones began to buzz with appointment confirmations and notifications from the Pinnacle Club. Ms. Harper, who had just offered to pay for me, now looked utterly shocked and thrilled. They were all successful in their own right, but in the truly top-tier circles, they weren't well connected. The Pinnacle Club was a legendary, private, members-only establishment frequented by VIPs, not open to the public. You couldn't get in with money alone, and yet I could arrange it with a single message. At that moment, any lingering doubts they had about me completely vanished. Their eyes, as they looked at me, were now filled with undeniable respect. I walked my friends to the club entrance and watched their cars drive away. The moment their taillights disappeared, the smile vanished from my face, replaced by a cold fury. I turned around ready to go back and clean house. But Brandon, flanked by 2 burly security guards, blocked the lobby entrance. "Stop right there," Brandon yelled, pointing a finger at my nose and cursing. "You think you can just sneak away? No chance. You're not stepping foot out of this building until that money is paid." The 2 guards stepped forward, encircling me menacingly. I paused, silently observing this utterly absurd scene, being held hostage and demanded to pay a non-existent debt, right in a place I owned. It was truly laughable. At the Auto Club's main entrance, Brandon's shrill voice attracted a crowd of curious customers in the lobby. They stared openly, their glances full of undisguised contempt, falling directly on me. It was as if I truly was some cheapskate trying to run out on a bill. Someone actually dares to freeload at Coastline Club? Must have a death wish. Dressed so well, but doing something so disgraceful. If you can't afford it, don't come to Coastline. So embarrassing. Being publicly pointed at and humiliated like this made my anger surge to my head. Serena nearby was pale, cold sweat beading on her forehead. "Brandon, maybe just let it go." She tugged at Brandon's sleeve, her voice faint, seemingly wanting to persuade him not to go too far. Brandon glared, his eyes wide, snapping back. "Serena, can't you show some backbone? The money's almost in our hands, and you're pushing it away. We need to squeeze every last penny out of people like her." Serena trembled, swallowing the words she was about to say, shrinking back and daring not to speak. Her spinelessness fueled my anger, and my disappointment in her became complete. With a cold expression, I pulled out my phone and called my assistant. "Chris, get $500,000 in cash from the car. Bring it to the main entrance immediately." Before long, Chris arrived, carrying a heavy silver suitcase, walking quickly. I motioned for him to open the case. With a click, the lid sprang open, revealing stacks of $100 bills neatly packed inside, an incredibly powerful visual. A chorus of gasps instantly filled the air, and all chatter ceased. Brandon's eyes were practically glued to the money. He clearly hadn't expected that I, the freeloader he'd called me, could so casually produce $500,000 in cash. I should have charged $1 million. What a missed opportunity. Brandon's eyes darted around, muttering under his breath as if he'd just lost millions. Staring at the cash in the case, Brandon unconsciously swallowed, his breathing becoming ragged. He reached out, trying to close the case. "Thought you were smart, eh? $280,000 from here will settle the service fees. The extra $220,000 will be for the emotional distress you caused to our club's reputation. Hold on." I put my hand on the case lid, stopping him. Brandon instantly grew wary. "What? Trying to back out? You can take the money." I stared at him, my gaze sharp. "But you must sign a receipt, clearly written in black and white." Serena beside me flinched, finally realizing that the situation had spiraled far beyond her control. She rushed forward, grabbing Brandon's arm, her voice pleading, "Don't sign it. We can't take this money. Give it back to her quickly." "Get lost, you useless thing!" Brandon flung her arm away, glaring at her with disgust. "Money in hand and you want to give it back? Why? She owes this. Sign it. Sign it. No one can deny it in black and white. It's a clean transaction. Perfect." He was completely blinded by greed, unable to listen to any advice. Snatching a pen and paper from a nearby staff member, he scribbled "Brandon" without a second thought, even adding a red thumbprint. "Here." He tossed the receipt to me, then eagerly snapped the case shut and clutched it tightly to his chest. "Honey, see? I told you I'm good, didn't I? $500,000. This money is going straight into my secret stash. I've been wanting that BMW for ages, but I couldn't justify it. Now I can finally get it." Brandon, beaming with pride, hooked his arm through Serena's, his voice sickeningly sweet. He was completely engrossed in the euphoria of unearned wealth and the anticipation of luxury. A blissful smile plastered across his face. Just as Brandon pulled Serena, ready to leave, the screech of brakes echoed from outside. 3 pure black executive cars, emblazoned with the Coastline emblem, screeched to a halt at the entrance.